Okay, okay. So Friday, it's September. I can't believe it. I still feel like it's August. It still feels like it's August during the daytime here in Florida in the villages. At night, it's a little bit cooler. So, but still, I can't believe it's already September. We just have like 4 months left in the year, almost the end of third quarter, beginning in fourth quarter. Glenn Stein, Realty Executives in the Villages here. We're going to talk about what I'm hearing on the street. Something I sometimes talk about, but I want to take a deeper dive on when I'm hearing, current state of affairs, some storytelling today to tell you what's going on. So, first of all, 78 properties are currently active. We had 40 properties that went under contract, actually 40 new listings. And I'll give you an exact number right now. We had, let's look at this, actually 30 new listings and 45 sold, 53 under contract, last 7 day numbers. So 30 new listings, 45 closed last 7 days, 53 that went under contract. So more properties coming on the market, but also demand picked up as well. I think that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to see a little bit of increased inventory, a little bit of increased demand as we move away from kind of the summer doldrums, right? Like July and August, even though properties sold pretty quickly, I think we saw average days on market for August was 3. July was 4 days on the market, like incredible on fire market. And but we did see a slowdown as far as the number of properties that came on the market, but now that's starting to pick up. So a little bit of that currently on the street. Some stories, I've talked to probably 9 or 10 agents today, maybe even more, some kind of communication of some sort today. And what I'm hearing is this is what I'm seeing. The first thing is appraisals for people that are trying to sell in today's marketplace, especially here in the villages. Outside the villages is a little bit different, but specifically the villages, Florida. What we're seeing is that we're recommending that sellers don't take any kind of appraisal contingency because properties are not going to appraise, not always, but most of the time, because appraisers are going to, they're basically looking at what's sold. They're looking at what's sold in the marketplace. And when you're looking at that, the sold properties, when the prices are going up, when they're here and they're going up, basically the comparables that they're using, the appraisers are using, are below what a property can actually get because of the lack of inventory. We talked about it over lunch today, where a particular model, let's take you could take the typical Lantana or Gardenia, and let's say it would sell for, let's say it's sold for similar type property in a similar type village, sold for 400,000 30 to 60 days ago. You could probably ask 425, 435 for a similar type property, nothing with a view, just a nice home. Maybe it's on the corner, but maybe on a cul-de-sac, that type of thing. Nothing, not on a golf course or anything like that. You can get maybe 15, 20, $25,000 more than the last comp or the last sold. The issue with that is obviously, and the reason why is because of lack of inventory, and there's not much to choose from either on the VLS side or Property of the Village's new construction side. They're actually going through a lottery system, is what the word is on the street right now, where they're short on inventories and they're just kind of they're putting people in a hat, and whoever is the lucky winner gets an opportunity to buy a home. So because there's so many people that are out there looking, there's so much demand there. So same thing on our side in MLS. When you've got that much demand and very little inventory, we're seeing that people can push the envelope to sell their home a little bit more than the last sold, meaning that appraisals are an issue. So there are some issues with appraisals. Know that on the buyer side, especially if you're doing any kind of financing, that appraising is going to be an issue if you have to have an appraisal. What we are seeing is most buyers are really, they're bringing enough cash to the table that they can do conventional financing and bridge the delta between the appraisal price and the actual price. So that's something that we're seeing right now. Some people are interested in they're interested in flipping properties. We have some investors in the area that are interested in looking at fixer-uppers. And the trick is normally with a fixer-upper type property, this was another conversation I had today, this afternoon, where the investor was looking to buy at a certain price, knew that it was going to cost a certain number, and was unsure about what the sale price was going to be. And I think a lot of people are going through that. Buyers are having a hard time understanding, wait a second, I've been looking at this market for 2 to 3 years, and now the price is different. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the prices to come down, and I'm not anticipating that. But we're also seeing investors trying to figure out, okay, what can I sell this for? It's hard to measure because the ceiling is very flexible. The floor is moving this way. The ceiling on pricing is kind of doing that, is going up. So that's an issue. But one thing we did discuss with a particular investor is that there are a couple of options. One, obviously, the goal is to make a certain amount of money for the investor, so they can shoot for that. And if it doesn't sell in a 3 to 4 week period, then they could always rent it. Or, worst case scenario, they're not going to lose money. They're just not going to make the money that they thought they would. Or they can hold on to it, rent it, because rentals are at a real shortage, by the way, real shortage on rentals. A lot of people coming here for not just season, we're booked out on season. So if you have a short-term rental, let us know, because we do property management here at Realty Executives. But also for long-term, there's a shortage. People are looking to maybe even rent out, if not 12 months, at least maybe 3 to 4, 5 months now, because they're living outside the area and they want a place to stay, so they can have time to look around and shop around and understand the area, and also be here to make a quick move if they need to make a move. So that's another option for investors as well. The other thing that we've seen is also this dilemma. I was speaking to one of our great realtors this morning, in fact, and we were talking about how a particular area that she's farming, and she does a lot of deals in this area. A good part of her business comes from, this area where she lives. And the challenging thing is as the prices go up, she sold the property maybe 3 months ago, and now the prices keep going up. She is concerned that these people will be upset that, wait a second, you sold my place for $250, and now you're selling the same model just down the street. And I've seen Martha's place, and it's not as nice as my place, or maybe it's as nice. And now it's $265. And then other properties are coming on the market, and we're getting full price for them and giving it, a couple of days to be absorbed by all the buyers out there, and give everybody opportunity to bid on them. And we're able to get a little bit more. And even, if we wait, we might be able to get even more. So that's a challenge right now, is that, we try to not look like we try to do the right thing. And by the way, sometimes that's really hard, but, doing the right thing is always the right thing. But, trying to do right by our sellers and do right by our buyers, I think it comes down to communication. I think that's part of the reason why I do this as well, is that we can communicate with everybody, and hopefully everybody understands the marketplace and understands the landscape. But I think that gives you a good idea of what we're seeing at the moment. Obviously, we've gone up in inventory, so going from the upper 40s to now the upper 70s, but that's taken I think it's been like 2 to 3 months. It's been the summer, right? In the summer, we've seen a little bit of a slight increase in inventory over the last probably 2 to 3 months. But we're still, what's happened is that what's interesting, if you look at the numbers, and that's why numbers are deceiving. If we look at the average days on market, we're looking at, 8, 6, 4, 3. It's kind of the progression over the last 3 to 4 months on average days on market on each month. But I will tell you that there are cases now where we're seeing homes stay on the market a little bit longer. So it's fascinating. I think we have a kind of a short memory. Like, we look back at last year, there was 450 homes on the market in the villages, and now we're looking at, 78 to the, as of like 10 minutes ago. And as opposed to some of these properties that were selling in literally just a couple of hours. And there's still some of that. We are seeing some properties, because the sellers have pushed the envelope a little bit on price, they're staying on the market more than just 3 days. It might be 2 weeks. And understanding the dynamics and what to do there is super fascinating. There are a few properties I looked on MLS this afternoon. There are a few properties that have stayed on the market longer than 3 weeks, but most of those there's something wrong with them. I can tell they're fixer uppers, or, maybe they're severely overpriced for whatever reason. But most properties are selling, look, still pretty fast, and maybe not selling as fast. So let me know. You can put if you have questions. This is live, by the way, so many of you know that. Typically, I'll do a live on Friday, so you can leave a comment in the chat in the comment section, or you can comment later if you're going to be watching this later. Many of you watch this after I do it. It's actually 4:28 in the afternoon, and I see many of you watch it hours after, and sometimes the next day or two. Upcoming, we got a lot of really good things upcoming on this channel, by the way. I've got some really good interviews in the month of September. We're going to do some really nice interest stories, some charities that are going on in the villages. Of course, we have one thing I do have to mention. I almost forgot. I'm also going to interview Cliff Weiner again. He's going to give us an update on the answers that we get from the whole EMT situation. We're going to do that I think it's going to be late September, like on the 22nd, after the decision on what Sumter County is going to do. I think that's on the 21st. So we're going to talk to him about that. We're going to have some other things that I think you're going to find interesting. But this is coming up. We're doing this. One thing I don't talk about a lot, but we do a lot of things with Alzheimer's. And this is coming up. It's called Boots, Barbecue, and Wine. It's actually in the POA magazine here that every resident gets, if you're not familiar with that. We advertise in here. This is our group here. Boots, Barbecue, and Wine. That's happening October 1st between 6 and 9:30. There's going to be music. There's going to be food, dancing, kind of like a Western feel to it. You don't have to dress up that way, but if you're interested in doing that, it's for Alzheimer's. All of the money goes towards Alzheimer's, and I think that's a big thing. We started doing that actually the last year, or about 18 months ago. We started sponsoring Alzheimer's, because obviously here in this community it's a big concern. So, David, you're asking, what are the concerns for Corona and Delta? My wife decided not to visit due to the elevated. That's a great question. I'm glad you bring that. I'm glad you bring that up, because obviously it's a thing. We've had certain number of people. Like, we have to remember, I'll give you an idea, on our site, which you see here, buysellthevillages.com. We get about 350 new registrants to our site every single month. 350 to 400 people that are new registrants. I've got literally 30,000+ people that are on the site that maybe they're just poking around. They're not interested in buying. Some people are interested in buying. Some people are 5 years down the road. Some people are interested in renting. There's all kinds. And I'll tell you that on a weekly basis, this is I'm glad you brought this up. On a weekly basis, I'm getting probably about 5 to 10 people, let's say probably closer to 10, about 10 people a week that are saying, you know what, I'm not feeling safe, I'm not going to come in. I will tell you that compared to last year, it's much different. So last year at this time, I'll tell you that we were at maybe 25 to 30% occupancy for our short-term rentals. This year, we're completely booked. Now, with that in mind, things could change. We know that. But at the moment, we're seeing some people pull back. I think a lot of people are paying attention to the news and a little bit worried about that. I can't advise people to, oh, don't worry, come on down, everything's beautiful. It's a health decision. It's unfortunately, it's become a political decision and all of that. And I think it's an individual, private decision whether you're going to come down or not. I'm not overly concerned uh, with how people are reacting here. I think some people are. Um, I think just like anything, I think everybody maintaining, safe, healthy practices is always the smart move. Like I said before, doing the right thing is always the right thing. So doing that is probably really, really smart. I'm not seeing a major impact on demand. There is some impact for sure, but not in a big way. So let me know if you guys have questions, concerns. I'm here for you. Like I'm just as a resource, right? Like this is, yeah, we're in business to make money and sell. We're a real estate company, right? But the reason why I'm doing this is I want to give value to everyone to really understand what's really happening, and whatever value I can bring to the table. If you have any questions, just let me know. Also, my number is 352-572-3796. Please subscribe to the channel. That would be absolutely fabulous. It would mean a great deal to me. Happy Friday. Happy Labor Day for everybody. Please stay safe. I hope for the folks that are watching in the Northeast that you guys are safe and you're okay. So we'll talk soon, everybody. We'll see you soon. Take care.